thank you to everybody for all your very warm support. I've had people reach out to me on Discord or just direct messages saying how much they enjoyed the story. And as a game master for online content, it's always very anxiety filled on if people are going to receive the content well. So thank you so much. And thank you for those of you who point out rules we mess up and bear through my wacky house rules. And for those of you who wanted to see Stolen Fate as written and are instead watching the version that we have very much gone off the rails with. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us for 2 whole seasons of this awesome show. I don't know what's going to happen yet tonight for the finale, but I'm very excited and love you guys.
I wanted to thank everyone for putting up with my silly shenanigans, and it's just been unbelievable that we've done, I don't know, what is it going to be, like 50 sessions by the end of this, and we have some people that have listened along the whole time. That absolutely blows my mind that people care so much about our silly little characters and our story that I think about all week. I don't know. That's wild. Thank you.
I don't know if there's anything else to add. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.
And we'll see you for season 3.
Bing, bing! Boom, boom. Cry, cry. Please cut that. Put that in the spoilers.
Good evening, fellow geeks, to our Season 2 finale of Stolen Fate. Let's reset the scene where we last left off. So our heroes have just defeated the Prince of Wolves and found some loot, took a quick breather, and are contemplating their way out of this realm. You guys hear the crash of waves off in the distance, and there's just kind of a foul stench to this place. Because there are demons everywhere. And currently, with several constellations representing your gods and an unfamiliar god, there is a protective dome over this crumbled fort where you just fought the Prince of Wolves. So alongside the crash of waves, you hear the distant cries and screeches of angry demons trying to pierce this barrier, but to no avail. Jack, you are doing Jack things and sulking and contemplating on things that just happened.
I'm praying. Thank you very much.
Right, praying.
It's kind of out of character for Jack, I would say.
That's true. I take it back. You're out of character, you know? Praying to Norgerber. And then Krunk and Gingham, you two, gathered up because, Krunk, you were shouting for Victoria to prepare to leave, and you spotted her down on the beach discussing with some sort of shadowed winged character. And you overheard a disturbing conversation that implied that Victoria means Jack harm. You confronted her about it, and this figure started glowing brightly to look like a golden angelic creature with a bow of solid light and bright white wings, and immediately turned aggressive, pointing towards you, Krunk. Victoria tried to beg that you leave and that you didn't have to die as well. And just as she said that, a bow was pointed in your direction, a finger was pointed at you, and you feel your joints starting to stiffen. Gingham, you're right beside Krunk. You were currently, I believe the last you were doing is you were inspecting the strange constellation. You heard Krunk shout, and then you did a knowledge on this creature, and you critically failed, but then you reminded me that you never critically fail your lores. And so I've got a dubious knowledge for you. This creature here is either a solar, which is one of the most powerful types of angels that there are, protectors of heaven and vindicators of justice. Very powerful, very dangerous. Or this is a herald level Araignées, which is a protector of hell, and typically not too much of a threat for you, but this one looks incredibly powerful. So it is one of those things you could gather. That's where we are, and we have rolled initiative. And we're going to kick it off at the top of the round. So as Victoria is begging you to leave Krunk, this angelic-looking creature speaks up. Victoria, we are in no place to offer mercy. This one needs to die even more than Jack. And as he says that, Krunk, he points a finger at you and is going to cast a spell.
Yeah? Well, guess what, Chase? He needs to make a will save.
For
looking at me, because I have glorious plate on.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Take that. Also, Chase, may I use tactical entry because Jack heard Krunk yell that we've been betrayed.
Yes,
So
you can.
Jack gets to take a stride action before anything happens. He's in a whole other room, so that's not going to make a difference here, but he does start to run closer.
Chase, this enemy has no effect on it from my glorious armor.
Has no effect on it? Why is that?
Because they succeeded. A success is no effect. It's not a basic save.
Gotcha. Well, that was a nat 1, though.
There was a nat 1 that added up to a 46. I don't like that.
As a free action, it is going to re-roll. But it has a limited number of those per day, so that's a good start for you.
That's fine. That's okay.
That is nice.
Okay.
Yeah, a free use of that.
Mwah, thank you.
Thanks, armor. No, they're not one. No, they're not one.
All right, that's a 48.
That's a success.
All right.
Chase, is that a nat 1 with a +2 for re-rolling?
It was a nat 1 and then a 3.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, because that's a 45 on the will save.
We can hope. We can hope for a nat 1 +2.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if he added a +2. For
it's technically right. That is a nat 1 +2.
It's true, yeah. All right, so that was the start of his turn, and now he is casting a spell at you, Krunk. And this spell has no save. You are going to be stunned for 1d6 rounds, and we're gonna half this to a minimum of 1 because you have the uprising invested. So.
Oh, come on.
Okay, so that is going to be 2.
No, but what about 1?
You round up in Pathfinder 2 unless specified otherwise.
But what if
Could I spend a hero point to change it to 1?
-2?
Can you spend a hero point to change it to 1?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, you're stunned for a round. Okay, let's see. Let me get my spells in order here.
I have 2 hero points left. I don't know if we should have a special thing above our heads that says that or something.
How close we are to death.
Hero points remaining. It ticked down from 3 to 2 with a menacing clunk.
Menacing.
I'm nervous.
I feel like it has the same energy as like days since last near-death experience. And Jack has been on like 1 to 0 for a while. It just keeps resetting for him.
He uses his own tears to wash away the previous numbers.
Oh, God.
All right, Krunk. So you feel your joints clench up here, and then you cannot move. And in fact, you drop everything that you're holding as well.
I wasn't holding anything.
I believe. I mean, no sword?
I mean, we were in downtime.
Fair enough. You didn't draw your weapon when you heard her, when you shouted and picked a fight?
That's a good point. Maybe. Sure. Probably.
By the way,
if I had time.
if your weapon's sheathed, it'll be an action to grab it. So,
sure.
Yeah, sure. All right. And then this thing is going to take a shot at you with this long bow. And that is going to be a 58.
With a 58.
Okay. Here is the damage, Krunk. That is going to be 150 damage. Which is a mix of physical and spirit.
Okay.
As this angel speaks and shoots you, and this arrow of light just pierces right through your shoulder, Krunk, you see tears start to stream down Victoria's face. I'm so sorry. I wish there was another way, Krunk. And then the angel is going to draw another arrow and say, "There isn't." And he's going to shoot at you again.
Did you not won?
That is a 54.
That's a crit.
Okay, here is the damage. That is 162 damage.
Okay. That would bring Krunk to 0.
Okay, let's see here. Wow, this really kicked off faster than I thought it was going to. Hold up a second here. Okay, yeah, you're dying too, Krunk.
Wait, Mortalis coin.
Oh yeah, you could use that.
Yeah, I'll use my Mortalis coin.
Might as well be down to dying 1 instead of dying 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll make a difference, but
Gingham makes those shitty coins out of something that is like love.
the close
love
it's
adjacent.
twine. They're twine coins.
All right, Krunk, you're getting put above initiative from the angel there, and that is its turn. Victoria is up, and she is going to cast her halo on herself, and then she's going to use her bloodline power to put an effect on herself. And then she is going to ready an action. And that is her turn. Jack, you're up.
Can I not be here? Can I exit the conversation? Jack has left chat. I'll hold and let Gingham go first.
Okay.
I think Jack, I use my tactical entry, so Jack just barely kind of comes to the archway. He's like across the hall and one room over from you guys, just visually for you guys listening at home. So I think he's like he's just now peeking around the corner, seeing down the hallway, and just sees Krunk crumple. And so he kind of pulls up for a second, unsure what to do. So
Yeah,
I'm
behind
holding for
Krunk,
Gingham.
you see two steaming arrows of light and just holes through both of Krunk's shoulders.
Okay. Go ahead, Gingham.
Point of order. You remember how you commented that Gingham only gives one chance, and as soon as that motive is bad, Gingham doesn't give the chance?
Yeah.
Point of order. Gingham never trusted Victoria.
Jack just told Norgerber last time that he didn't trust Victoria. I guess we shouldn't have trusted her even harder than we did.
He saw the hesitation. That works up my turn a little bit, guys.
What, Krunk getting one-rounded?
Yeah, Krunk getting one-rounded kind of borks up the plan.
You could grab the deck off of Krunk's body and activate it.
But it's a 1-minute cast time to get the gate open into the deck. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the mansion spell. Just kidding.
No, the deck of
Ignore
Harrowed
me.
Tales
the deck
is 2
instant.
actions once a day. If on a plane other than the Harrowed Realm, the deck creates a gate to the Harrowed Realm.
That's the deck we just came from.
Yeah, we're going to go back and we're going to be like, hey, Sonneray,
that place,
how are you, girl?
Sonneray is better than whatever this is that's happening. Couldn't they just then, like, pick up the deck and move it wherever? If
you enter the deck, you
Deckception?
can't bring the deck with you.
Yeah, okay.
How do you know?
Because that's the same thing that you just found out about the Prince of Wolves, is that you go inside the deck, it leaves behind, and then when you exit the deck, you come out where the deck is at.
So we buy ourselves
A day. We go buy a lot of cool items with all the money we have.
Yeah, we have the loot. Oh, gosh. We just go pounding Willem's door down. Willem, close the gates. Cut Victoria's ties. Whatever you got to do.
And why did you let her in here in the first place?
Yes.
I've got a huge fight with Willem if we survive this, which it doesn't look like we will. What you doing, Katie? Sorry, I talked a lot.
Yeah, we've been stalling. It's
well,
okay.
your stalling didn't really help me make a decision.
Oh, my bad, dog. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, Krunk's unconscious. He can't talk right now anyway.
This is just the mouth tummy.
This is when we learn there's a second brain. Yeah, the mouth tummy is alive.
I'm going to ask a jank question.
Yeah.
The deck that Krunk has, where did Krunk put it? That's my first question.
Well, he hasn't like pulled out his bag and done like a lot of stuff. I imagine we did a quick divvy, so it's probably in a little like pouch on his hip.
Okay,
Right.
I'm going to... The wording on the juggler is an item of one bulk or less falls within my reach, or an attacker fails an attack roll. Technically, Krunk is falling over.
I'm right there. I'm
As
prone.
a reaction, can I take the deck and
Sure.
juggle?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else are you juggling? Your implement?
Uh-huh. And my boomerang. Okay, so this is how this looks then. So, Gingham is glaring at this betrayal that they knew had to be coming somewhere. And as Krunk falls, their eyes glow a little bit, and there's like a flash from around their belt where their cards are, and they just start juggling. And as Krunk falls from the next arrow, Gingham snatches the deck from Krunk's falling body. Now they're juggling three things. Gingham is going to activate with 2 actions the deck of Harrowed Tales. So a gate is going to open up, correct?
Yes. But as you go to activate that item, Victoria is going to use her reaction. And she's going to cast a Dispel Magic on it and see if she can counteract it.
Chase, you menace.
Look at his cold face.
That's why he let Katie do it as an action, so she wouldn't be too
Yep.
mad when it failed. He's like, that normally wouldn't be a yes, but today it is.
But today I need
44
to keep
is going to counteract.
Is it? It's a level 20 item.
Yeah, DC for it is a 40, so that is going to counteract it.
Dang it. Is it a hero point to make her reroll?
Uh-huh.
I want to use the hero point then. And here's how Jack yells out when he sees Krunk fall. And hears like all the commotion, and he just shouts like full of like rage and pain, "Victoria!" And it just echoes from the halls, even though she can't see him. That's my
Okay.
hero point usage. Reroll that, Chase.
All right, here we go. Worst result -2. And nat 1.
Draw the crit fail.
Okay.
Oh, that's so fitting. Feel bad, Victoria.
All right, Gingham. She accidentally hits you with a buff, and you get a +2 bonus to your saving throws against spells for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Does Jack's voice shake her just a little? Just enough?
Yeah, it looks like it pains her a lot.
Good.
You maybe even suspect she may have missed on purpose. Okay. Which square are you opening this gate in?
Let's do it. Oh, what? Like, does it have to be a square next to me?
Yep, has to be adjacent to you.
Okay. I can't tell which squares
It
are
actually can be
squares.
within 120 feet.
Oh, can it be?
I need Krunk to be able to crawl through this.
Yeah, that's true. Right there?
Yeah, I think, yeah. That's where
Okay.
that's gonna go.
Yeah, you shuffle that deck, Gingham, intuiting that that's how you activate this item. And as you do, a little tear in the fabric of this place opens up, and you see a familiar space through there, which is just actually the circus tent where you saw the Rakshasa.
Lovely. Final action is going to be a 1-action heal on Krunk.
Okay.
Using... Let's do a 4th level 1 action. 48? Krunk will heal for a beefy 14.
He's conscious. Maybe there's a chance.
All right, Krunk, you are conscious. You are wounded 1.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Desna. Oh dear.
Okay, anything else for you, Gingham?
That was all 3 actions because it was 2 to cast and then another one for a 1 action heal.
All right. Jack, are you going to go?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would like a turn this round.
Yes.
I think I'm just
If
gonna
you go through the
spend it
gate,
running.
I will pick up Gingham on my turn and go through the gate too.
You are
Okay.
still stunned for a round. Krunk.
Oh, shoot.
Oh no!
I knew there was going to be a risk
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
Is it because I moved an initiative, Chase?
No, you lose the stunned after your turn. You haven't had a turn yet.
But I would have if I hadn't died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is because I missed a round. I just want to hear you admit it.
Yeah, sure. I guess so.
Yes, thank you. I take my wins where I can have them.
It's important to do. Sorry, Jack is just running, and I'm just trying to make sure I measure this properly. I've stridden twice.
Okay.
I had stridden.
I have stridden. There is a gate.
There he is.
Oh,
The
Oh,
angel
can I
looks
see
as
them
you
now?
approach. Yeah, you can.
Jack sees everything, and he looks panicked at Krunk, barely conscious on the ground.
You might not even know.
And-
He's very still. He's still frozen.
True. I mean, I guess Jack is probably running up as he sees Gingham healing Krunk for a little bit. But yeah, then Jack's eyes just lock onto Victoria, and he just looks right at her. He just looks dumbfounded. Where's the gate, Gingham?
Right here.
Oh, the blue square. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could make it this turn, you guys, but I don't know if you want me to do that.
Krunk definitely wants you guys to just go.
I guess I can hold a stride, right?
It's 2 actions to ready a stride and then your reaction to take it.
I don't have 2 actions left, unfortunately. So, oh my gosh.
You
I
could.
don't know if I want to leave you guys behind.
What would Jack do?
Mm-hmm.
God. Man, I don't know. This is hard. I was not prepared for my turn, even though I said I wanted to take it. Okay, here's what I'll do. I don't even know that this is really a conscious choice for Jack. I think he's just so shocked and hurt by what has happened. Can I make a diplomacy check, Chase, against Victoria?
Yeah, for sure.
Jack is just so shocked at everything that's happened, and his eyes lock onto Victoria. He just looks shattered, and he whispers mostly to himself because he's so far away from Victoria, but she can see that he mouths, "Why?" And I'm going to try to appeal to her guilt and just look like a very sad boy. Here we go. That is a 38, Chase.
Okay. She sees you do that, and it's like she meets your eyes, and you see more tears fall down her face. It's not your fault, Jack. You did your best to be a good boy. But this is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than you. I'm sorry.
That's Jack's turn.
Okay. All right, Krunk, you lose your turn, and you no longer have stunned.
Chase,
Yes.
may I use Birch's independent action? Birch shuffles around in Jack's bag and pulls out the potion of non-detection, or what is it called? We got it, just a potion of undetectability, and hands it to Jack.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Oh,
is he gonna
sorry,
feed
one
it to
last
Jack?
thing. No, he's not going to feed it to Jack. He's just going to, Birch is smart. He sees that things are going to shit, so Birch just kind of shoves this into Jack's hand as Jack is looking all very shocked.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yep, kill me.
Well, that's relative, but yeah.
Okay. All right. The angel is going to launch off the rock and fly at Gingham, drawing its sword as part of this action. And it is going to strike at you, Gingham. That is going to be a 49.
Well, that barely crits.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my free one chase, my free reaction to cast shield on Gingham. And then my emergency charge reaction to raise my shield. And my other reaction to liberating step.
Okay.
Just bust
Excellent.
3 reactions in one go to try and save Gingham. Also,
And
this
so
will
the shield block
Yes.
is the shield spell in this case, right?
Yes.
This is going to go right through the shield spell, so negate any of the damage reduction from that, but liberating step will help.
Why? My reactions.
Here is the damage. Now that we've got that all settled, that's going to be 220 damage.
Okay, Gingham's dying too.
Okay.
By how much?
Do you have a Mortalis coin, Gingham?
Katie.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Also,
Is it 19 negate from you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm barely up. Because that would be 201 damage.
Can you amulet abeyance this as well?
He's not my exploit. I didn't exploit vulnerability. I
back.
can't do it yet. Step back. Oh,
Step is a free action with liberating step.
right.
Could you step into the portal?
Step into the portal, Katie. Oh, that's such a good idea. Step into the portal. Save yourself. You're not going to
You're
survive
only
another
5
round.
feet away. That you're so hurt.
Step.
So what does Krunk say? Does Krunk tell Gingham
Yes.
to leave? What does Krunk say?
Go.
Time out. If you guys don't go through this,
I'm going through it.
I will leave the
I'm
game.
going through it. I will go
So-
through it if possible.
Here is the thing that's going to happen in Gingham. You're going to know this. If you step through this portal, this deck is sustained for up to a minute. So you open a Terran reality. So it goes right through, right? And it's not, you don't teleport creatures. It's not a teleport effect. You're keeping a gate open from point A to point B. You can see through point A to point B right outside the circus tent. So if Gingham steps through, that tear is still open. It can be walked through. It can be shot through by any creature. And and it's going to stay that way until Gingham stops sustaining the spell. If in theory Gingham steps through and the angel was to shoot Gingham through the portal and Gingham goes unconscious, Gingham can't sustain the portal closes, then you guys are stuck.
I see.
So you're saying don't do this because you're going to
I'm just giving you all the information so you can make
it could
the
be
decision.
that Gingham is the only one who makes it through if Gingham does that and then goes down.
Don't go
I just
down.
didn't want this to be like
that
it feels
isn't-
bad, like
moved.
Gingham feels safe, and then Gingham's actually standing in front of the portal still.
Yeah.
open. So
So
I'm
Yeah,
can
it makes
can
giving you
Gingham
full
like just
information.
step to the side and not be seen?
I mean, Gingham only has one step right now, so Gingham can step directly into the portal, which is not really going to be into the side. It'll be in view.
It probably has one more action, don't you think?
It flew up.
Oh,
it
no
stabbed,
doubt.
unless it was
It's
like
got one more.
Probably does. Just depends. It's gonna go after Gingham or Krunk.
Can it shoot at will? Do you think? Can it just switch weapons as a free action?
When you saw
Probably.
it draw its bow, it didn't look like it had to draw it. Like when it made the motion, the bow formed in its hand.
Ah, okay.
It is holding a sword right now. I'm just giving you a little DM warning on the
That makes
potential
sense.
outcome of
Gingham
this.
would know that. Gingham would understand how that works.
Yeah. So they wouldn't step through.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're gonna step there. So at least it's back. I mean, I understand this person is huge, but like, there you go.
Cool. All
They're
right.
stepping.
That hits you. It looks like it's going to kill you, but Krunk's warning is enough to step you back just enough before this thing takes your head off. As a reaction, the angel's going to let go of the sword, and the sword is going to start swaying back and forth on its own in like a dueling motion right in front of you, Gingham. The sword is going to act on its own and take a single action to attack you.
I spent all my reactions. I can't do anything.
It's going to be a 64.
It's so close to a crit that it's double.
It's so close to a double crit.
Actually, it's probably a triple crit.
All right, that is 188 damage.
There's the dying two. We were all looking dying one because I
have a Mortalis coin
yeah,
too?
Gingham's
Okay.
got one on themselves.
So does that mean the gate closes because it's not being sustained?
It technically doesn't close until Gingham's turn ends, and it doesn't get sustained, so somebody else could pick it up.
Could pick up the deck and sustain it?
Mm-hmm.
We could also pass through the deck if we survive Victoria's turn.
Yeah.
And now the angel is going to take its last action.
It already
now
did
that it has
4!
free hands.
Did 3.
No, it moved. It attacked.
It attacked.
Did a reaction. Its sword took an action of its own because it's now an animated weapon. And now it's going to shoot at you, Krunk.
It didn't even have to do
Stop.
anything to do the.
It's a reaction to animate the weapon.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Just nat 1.
Hey!
That's a
All right,
miss.
it's going to re-roll, though.
But it was a miss.
It's a nat 1.
Okay.
Like
All
I
right.
said, it has a number of
Roll
these per
another
day.
nat 1, I dare you.
Okay, I sure will.
Roll another nat 1, please.
It's down to only one more of these, so it's pretty good.
Just roll
Use
another
them
nat
all
1.
on Use them all on Krunk. Let's go.
Okay, that's going to be a 46.
I'm going to use a hero point and make you take the lesser roll, -2.
It'll re-roll now.
Oh, okay.
It'll re-roll off of this.
Should I do it, guys? Should I do it just in case?
I don't know. You got to do you. This is too high stakes for me to convince you one
I'm
way
gonna
or
do
another.
it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. All right. Lower roll -2 between the 46 and this one. It's going to be a 44.
All right, it's not a crit, but it's a hit.
Krunk, you drop to 0 hit points immediately, and your dying value increases by 2.
Why 2?
Because it has something called Arrows of Mortality.
Okay, I'm dying 3.
You do have the dying 5 is what you'll die at.
Because
of the
Mortalis
Mortalis coin.
for 10
Yeah.
minutes.
All right, that's its turn.
That was
Thanks,
that was pretty
Victoria.
rough, Chase.
That was
rough.
pretty rough.
I keep having hope and then losing it all.
All right, let's see here. It is Victoria's turn. She is going to cast a spiritual armament on Jack. That is going to form a spinning rainbow glaive right above you, Jack. And it's going to make an attack against you. Here we go. That is going to be a 37.
That misses. Jack is shocked but still fast on his feet.
Okay, and then Victoria is going to stride up here. That is her turn. Jack, you're up.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm literally shaking right now. Okay. I need to there's a lot happening here. Okay. I need to just think through every single part of this turn. Okay. So, Chase, in theory, Jack could step through the portal and still be adjacent to Gingham, right?
Yep.
Okay, I just need to think out loud for a second. You guys can help me. So, I am within one stride of the gate. I could run into the gate. That's an action. I could pull Gingham. That's another action. And then I could give Birch 2 actions. I could command Birch. Birch could take a potion and feed it to Krunk. That would be all 3 actions. Does that track? Am I missing anything? And then Krunk would be conscious, hopefully, and could crawl through the portal after us. Yes?
That makes sense to me. It already used its reaction in order to summon the sword. So hopefully it doesn't have multiple reactions a turn like we do. And I'm going before it. So
yeah, I mean I think that's the best I can come up with. Unfortunately, that probably means I'm losing Birch.
I can carry him with me.
You can
just have him sitting on my chest.
You can reconstitute Birch or that.
Yes, I know. I just mean it will still be sad. Birch would be willing to make that sacrifice for sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Chase, you've been quiet, and that makes me nervous. But I'm gonna go through with that plan.
Okay, so Birch is declaring a stride?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
First, Jack is running up.
So Jack is declaring a stride.
Yes, Chase.
Yes.
Okay. Victoria is going to take a reaction. She reaches back and touches this angel, like right on its chest. And when she does that, she screams in agony, and her eyes ignite with blue flame, and her head arches up to the sky, and her whole body gets engulfed with flame. She's going to lose half of her hit points. Everybody is going to, as she does this and she screams up to the sky, you see her face turns kind of skeletal as this flame is igniting in her eyes. This angel suddenly looks very twisted and perverted, and it looks like an evil-looking angel with bat wings and a skull face with crossed blindfolds over it. Kind of a menacing grin on its face. When she does that, all of you see appear around you these orange glowing harnesses with a glowing rope raising from tied around your center all the way up to the sky. And Jack, when you try to move, that tether tightens and you cannot move, and that cancels your stride.
Okay. And I'm stuck.
You can try to move again, but you need to try to make an athletics or an acrobatics.
Well, we know Jack's track record.
Oh, sorry, you're just restrained, so you need to try to make...
Oh, just restrained.
That's all.
Oh, no, you're not restrained. You're immobilized. My bad.
Immobilized. Okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing, Chase. I did try to use an action with the move trait. Can I activate my ghost dust?
What does that do?
It makes me invisible.
It's
on my armor.
Sure.
It's a free action. It just happens and if with the trigger. Okay. It casts a 4th level invisibility on me.
Okay. Yeah, you go invisible. That harness is still visible and can kind of seem to be tugging as you're trying to move.
Yeah.
But you yourself are invisible.
Okay. So 2 actions left. Oh my gosh. Is Birch restrained or
Birch
immobilized?
is also restrained, yep. Same tether went around him as well.
Okay. Here's the thing, guys. I'm pretty sure I do still have a way to get out of here, but I don't think I can get you guys out.
That's okay, Tori. You gotta do what you gotta do.
What can I use push for, Chase? I have 2 Norgaber push. How can Norgaber help me in this moment?
Push is currently disabled in this fight.
What is happening?
Because it's probably a
Norgaber
GD
gave you a little wink and then was like, hands off, kiddo. Sorry.
Can't interfere with fate. Yours is wicked.
And I still have this poison on my sword that I don't know what it's for. Chase told me last week he didn't forget about it, and part of me thought, well, maybe it's for this Arrhenius, but or whatever this thing is, but I am petrified to go up and stab it right now. That sounds like a bad idea. Okay.
You should get out.
Okay. I will, weirdly, call upon Desna and use the gift that she gave me forever ago that I haven't used yet. And I'm going to cast Momentary Recovery.
Oh my god.
So, unless you're going to ruin my day even
call
further.
upon that power, and you hear nothing but empty echoes.
Chase Ingram.
I don't have my boon. I don't have Momentary Recovery.
Anything gifted by Aditi right now is not in play.
No
Chase,
way.
half of my level is actually gifted by a deity.
Yep.
I'm blessed.
Uh-huh.
Do I not get to use any of my blessed things?
Nope.
We're doing good, guys.
Then I guess that's just it, then. I don't have any... I'm invisible, but I don't have any spells that are gonna help me.
What if the poison's
you
corrosive
can't
and you
move
could
at
cut
all?
yourself?
I can... I'm immobilized, and I have to make an athletics or an acrobatics to move, which Jack is famously not good at. So...
It's not
Nat
that kind of
20s
rogue.
happen.
What about... Are any of my cards... There has to be something! Man, guys, I think we're just all... I think there's just nothing else I can do.
I'm looking through your cards. They have invested.
I know, me too.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
You might as well
there's
try
nothing.
acrobatics. Like,
You might as well try and move.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
you might as well try it.
that's where we're at. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try acrobatics.
Rogue power.
That is a
That's-
critical fail, and you are going to suffer damage as you pull against the tether.
Okay, well, apparently there is harm in trying.
It's 20 evil damage.
Good thing evil damage heals Jack.
Yeah. Wicked fate, healing evil, you know.
Okay.
Stop struggling. Your fate is sealed. You were brought into this world under a wicked fate, and the day of reckoning has come.
Okay. Trying to think if there's any way I could lie or diplomatize my way for just like one more round. Okay. Fine. You've got us, okay? Just let me at least understand. I want to know who or what force bested me.
Roll a diplomacy.
Oh, that's really high. It's a 49. I rolled a 19.
49 is a failure.
Oh,
The time for knowledge is past.
okay, well, that's my turn.
All right. Krunk. Make a stabilize check. You are stable and unconscious.
Reduce my dying value by 1.
Oh, because you crit succeeded. Nice. Good. All right. And then that's your turn. Gingham, you do the same.
Oh. That sounds right.
Increase your dying value by 1, please.
All right.
Katie's, Oh.
Oh, new
right.
toy. No.
Oh, 3.
End of the turn, the gate closes.
Hey,
Yes?
I had a turn. Does my stun value go away?
Oh, yeah, your stun was gone last turn.
I didn't get a turn last time, I realized.
Yeah, because you got knocked down again before you got to go. Because you lost one turn. You went down. You got up. You lost your turn to stun.
I've lost 3
you got
turns.
knocked down again. Yeah, it's been rough.
Yep.
It's been a little rough.
This is
for
the way
Krunk.
that Krunk goes down, pathetically, just bleeding on the floor and whimpering. It's terrible,
All
terrible legacy.
The gate goes down. The demon-like angelic creature is going to reach down with its very long arms, and it's going to just place a hand over the deck, and a burning purple flame is going to make that deck just disappear.
Chase.
Birch, you guys are all still tethered on the chest with these ropes. Birch is going to turn to you, Jack. I'm sorry, kid. I did my best. It's going to be okay, though.
I don't think that's true, but thanks. And Jack just cuddles Birch.
Oh. This angel is going to draw back a strike with its bow, and it is going to take a shot at Jack.
Nimble dodge.
That is a nat 20, very fittingly to the story. Okay, you're going to be slowed 1 in addition to this damage. That's going to be 163 damage, Jack. Does that put you below 75?
Yes.
You go to 0 and to dying 2. At this point, you're all unconscious. Everybody is getting executed. All of you feel one final burst of energy as something riles you. You're all beaten on the ground. Victoria's face goes back to normal and her eyes settle, and those tethers break. You've all got one final action. Everything will crit succeed. Let's go in initiative order. We'll start with, I don't know. All you guys choose. Who wants to go first? Anybody sad people?
I just don't even know what's worth crit succeeding on right now.
Anyone? Do I need to assign a turn?
No, I'll just go.
Okay.
Okay. Krunk. I'm gonna say this thing used its sword to stab into Krunk. Just right in the middle of his torso. There's a moment where all the blood is like leaving Krunk's body. And then his eyes flash open and they're both completely red. And the stomach that the sword is through and the mouth that the sword is through in his stomach snaps onto the blade. And he sits up. Do I stand as a free action or do I have to spend an action to stand?
Yep, no, you stand up as a free action.
He's gonna grab the guy, pull himself up. Do I pick up my sword as an action as well? Draw my sword?
Yeah. You're all good to go. You
Okay.
stand up, your weapon ready.
He stands, alliance clasped between both hands.
Starling.
He looks from Solar, he's glaring, and then his eyes slide to Victoria. And for shame! To Jack! To us! Shaylin would spit on your grave.
Shaylin commanded it. You don't even know.
You are deceived beyond all reason. If you looked anywhere within your heart, you would know that that sacred goddess would never ask for the pain between families this way. The pure embodiment of love would never demand this of you. And that is what you can ask her for yourself when you meet her in the boneyard. And I'm going to try to disintegrate her into fucking ash.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, go ahead and narrate it.
I'm
It
gonna
critically
go ahead
succeeds.
and critically hit with Alliance. Here is my damage. 80. With the
80
sword.
damage.
And then
Okay.
with a critical disintegrate, does she automatically fail her her fortitude save, or does she roll
She
it?
does. She automatically critically fails it.
Oh my gosh, maybe I should have gone after the big guy. It's just a really calm 102. So 182 damage as Krunk jams his sword into her chest, so close that his breath is like puffing across her face, and he goes, disintegrate.
She starts to slowly fade away. The dreamer is blinded. And then as she fades to ash, Krunk, you no longer see this angelic figure next to you as you were having that final strike. And suddenly, just from the sky, it plummets down straight behind you, and the sword goes straight down through your neck and just kind of pins you to the ground. As that happens, you see that that glowing harness around you with the thread up to the sky kind of blink into existence again, and you hear the sound of snipping shears, and you can see that rope cuts and kind of starts to dangle and flow in the wind.
So Krunk has this thing sword like through the front of his, like right underneath his neck, and it's like pinning him to the ground. He's just choking, and there's blood dripping from his mouth onto the paved stones. He looks up to Jack, and there's just this moment of recognition where he gives just the barest smile as he turns his sword in his hands and stabs backwards into the thing behind him.
Okay. Roll that crit damage.
Oh, 2 12s on my d12s. 112 damage, Chase.
Excellent.
And as Krunk drops to his knees, he reaches over for Gingham's little body and he tries to pull it underneath him in a final act of protection. Then he'll collapse.
Okay. Krunk is dead. Who's next?
Oh, Gingham will go.
Oh, Victoria is also dead, in case that was not clear.
I'm sorry I blew up your not mommy. If you want, I can re-narrate so that you can kill your not mommy.
Okay, you said you're ready, Gingham?
Yeah. So Gingham crawls out from under Krunk's protection.
What's it like waking up cuddled against Krunk?
Gingham looks up a little amazed that Krunk would do that for someone who isn't Jack. And they pat, I imagine where Gingham is, they have to pat Krunk's armor in like a, oh, thanks, in like the most sincere, soft way. Okay. Gingham crawls out from under Krunk and is gonna exploit the hell out of this guy. So I should critically succeed this. I should know. The knowledge just snaps into Gingham's mind. They know what this is.
Yeah, this actually is a solar, but it is one that has been twisted and perverted by Zon Cathon, and it looks like his herald.
It's just a deity's herald, guys. That's all.
It's just a deity's herald is all. They know it might not do much, but they glare up in just this defiant act. You think your evil god will take this world? You're misguided. You're a fool. Someone will end you, even if it's not us. And Gingham will throw twice. What's this
Couple
thing
of
vulnerable?
boomerangs.
Yeah, what's this thing vulnerable to?
It is weak to holy by 25.
Gingham's boomerang glows brighter than it ever has. And there's twine wrapped around it that's making it glow. So Gingham hucks the boomerang twice at the guy. 40, so 65 on the first one.
Nice.
65.
65 on the second one.
So that's your crit damage plus 25?
Mm-hmm.
Can I spend my last hero point to make it double, just for fun?
To make it double?
Yeah.
To make the damage double?
Yeah, the weakness
I mean,
damage.
Sure.
I have my own crit or
Oh,
hero
my bad.
point too.
Don't let me step on your toes.
No. I actually think it'd be cool if we both used it. If Chase will let it happen.
Yeah.
When
Did
that
you roll the
happens,
same damage on both?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That's crazy.
When that happens, and you use yours, I picture a little butterfly lands on the boomerang to just nudge it along. And then
Okay.
as that connects, Gingham looks back at Jack. And if a skeleton could smile, it would. Gingham goes, well, that boneyard everyone's been talking about. Maybe we'll be family there.
Excellent. And let's see, where did you boomerangs hit? And Krunk, you stabbed him through the chest backwards, right?
Yes.
Okay.
At the wings.
The wings, excellent. Yeah, so there's a big gaping wound in the chest. It kind of cut the tunic so it's hanging down, exposing a very chiseled chest. And then the wings, feathers, or I guess tears in these bat-like wings just cut through, kind of like burned scorch marks as that holy damage cuts across the wings. And its flight kind of stumbles a bit, and it gives out an angry growl. You should have just stayed a puppet. And it holds out a hand as it stumbles towards you, and the sword flies back in its hand and just stabs right through your center, Gingham. And Gingham is dead. Yeah, you see the same thing where the tether appears around Gingham's chest, and you hear the snip of the shears, and then the rope just goes floating towards the sky. All right, Jack, just leaves you.
Krunk did holy damage.
I did holy
too.
damage too. Krunk does holy damage. 'Cause
Excellent. I shall add that. That was on both hits?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been added.
All right. Jack grabs Greythorn. Is Greythorn working, Chase?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was a gift from a
Ish.
god, so
Yeah.
Ish.
ish. As Birch cuddles up to him, Jack gives him one last hug, and he says, "Thanks, buddy." And then he sets him down, and he says, I don't know where you go after I'm dead, but I don't want you to watch this. And yeah, he sets him down in the next room, and Jack runs up to the solar with a skirmish step, and he doesn't say anything. He just is, tears are streaming down his face mixed with blood, and he just stabs full of rage at this thing.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do that much damage because he's not off guard to me. Well, I am invisible, actually.
Yeah, he'll be off guard to you.
Okay. That does 58.
Okay.
So let's see. That's my quick strike action. I have one last action, two actions. I'll crit one more time. Yes, Em?
It's just I just realized it's gonna become drained 1 because Gingham did bleeding damage to it, right?
Ooh.
Mhm.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
gonna massively reduce its health pool. You might kill it.
Let's hope. Let's hope. All right, I've got 2 more actions. I'm going to crit it again
Ooh.
for 74.
Okay. And this is with Greythorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still up.
It's still up.
By a
I didn't-
smidge, I bet. Maybe
I
not.
didn't want to
Maybe it's a lot.
use my action. How weathered does it look?
It's got scarred wings, a big gaping wound in its chest. What are you stabbing it?
Probably just in its chest. Jack's just like, ugh, stabbing fast and just
Puncturing and
in
slashing
the
with holes.
sides. Yeah.
Birch is going to run up and say, I got you back, kid. And he's going to launch up and he's going to bite on him and critically succeed for 2d6 damage.
Go, Birch, go.
Oh.
Birch does 8 damage. And yeah, it's looking bad, but it's still standing.
Jack just yells in its face, "You bastard!" And then he kind of stumbles away, like falling weak. He feels his life leaving, and he stumbles through the dust that was Victoria, kind of looks down at it, and just lets out just an exhausted, heaving sob. And then he takes Greythorn and he turns it on himself, and he looks at the solar and he says, "I'm making this choice, you son of a bitch." And Jack is gonna stab himself through.
That's so sad.
And yet you're smiling, you monster.
This thing grins as that happens, and Jack, as that happens, and you feel this powerful weapon go through you. Birch is biting on this solar, and just carelessly he grabs Birch, and you see Birch just explode into dark flames. And as you fall, the last thing you hear is a chuckling. And it was all for naught. And you see his other hand above Victoria, and you see her ash come back together to form a very burned and scarred, crying Victoria. And Jack is dead. We have a TPK, folks. Shall we talk about what happens next? Or do people need a minute?
How did he bring her back? I thought a disintegrate was like a thing. That was the only
He's
reason
a
why I attacked
herald.
her with the disintegrate.
True resurrection.
What? As a freaking no ritual, true resurrection, and what the hell?
All right. Let's start with Krunk. Krunk, you went first. Krunk, you feel a specter of yourself falling. You remember what happened. You have your entire life of what happened before flash before your eyes. All of the heroic deeds you accomplished, all of the people you saved, all of your studies, all of the bad as well, the criticisms and the judgments and the people who were afraid of you. Everything goes through your mind in an instant as you find yourself falling through some sort of strange void. You can see for miles there are gravestones and memorials. And the notable features is as you fall, you can see that tether is still around your chest, and that rope is now flailing behind you in a breeze as you just fall for a very long time. You can see up in the sky, it's a very strange moon. It's unusually bright. and large, and within it you see the face of a skull. It's a bit unsettling, but that's offset by the piece of the giant spire in front of you below you, as you're falling towards the glowing tip of this very large spire. You would recognize this, you've heard of this in life. This is the boneyard. This is where people allegedly go when they pass before judgment is given and they go to their respective afterlives, or remain in the boneyard, whatever it may be. Was Krunk thinking to himself? Does Krunk have any words as he's falling towards the boneyard?
He's consumed with thoughts of his friends. He knows that he failed them, and that he always told Jack that he was going to give Jack hope, and that he was never leave Jack behind, and yet Krunk was the first to die in front of Jack. He is 100% full of sorrow, regret, and self-hatred, probably.
That's rough. As you're falling, you see above you, way up in the sky, 2 more glowing tethers appear that look like other people falling just like you. It's hard to tell. One of them might be Jack, one of them might be Gingham. But before you can really make it out for sure, you feel your tether tighten and you are whipped across the void. Far away from the spire, you see it speeding away from you as you start getting dragged upwards, as if something is pulling on that thread. And suddenly this void disappears, and a gentle wind brushes starlight across the void, and you just see hundreds of stars in an endless sky around you. And a woman with hair like galaxies and butterfly wings floats in front of you. You would recognize this person from your devout studies as Desna. You fell bravely, Krunk. Not to loss, but to your path. She descends and stands barefoot on stardust, just trailing behind her as if she's walking on nothing. You're floating there, and that rope is wrapped around her arm as if she's holding you up. You are not done yet. Not yet. And what do you say, Krunk? How do you respond here?
He's gonna drop to a knee and bow low. Queen of the North Star, what do you mean? I'm dead. There's nothing else I can do.
No, my starborn wanderer. I plucked you from Pharasma's hands just for a moment. The deck you seek, it bends the very weft of fate, and in the wrong hands, it will unravel hope itself. Not even a dream will be able to protect the world. She kneels in front of you and places a hand over your heart. The last cards await, scattered like stars fallen to the earth. I ask, no, I trust you to gather them, my starborn. You who dares to dream even in death. Will you walk the path between dreams once more, my chosen?
There's a moment when Krunk would automatically say yes and profess his everlasting faith to Desna, but the words catch in his throat, and he looks up at her. I need them. If you want me to do this, please. Jack, Gingham, I'm sorry, this is just resplendent goddess of fortune, please. Grant me this. I will work myself to the bone for you. I will give my life time and time again, but let them live.
She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath. This web that is woven is complicated, and my power is not omnipotent. I can tell you that one of them has already returned. I can't tell you which. I don't even know myself. But hope still remains on the material plane.
In that case, I will do all I can to gather these fallen stars.
The world needs you, Krunk. Show them the power of dreams. And she is going to grab that rope, and she's going to twist it, and she's going to throw it up to the sky, and you see it attached to a big complicated web of threads that appears. The harness releases you. You start to fall once again. And now we're going to go to Jack. Jack, you see a similar thing that Krunk just saw. You see a spire that you're falling towards. You see the memorial stretching across the void, the moon with the skull above. You notably are just like in standard clothes you would wear as a civilian, no adventuring gear, but Greythorn is still stabbed through you as you did as your final action.
Jack looks a little surprised to see Greythorn. He kind of chuckles to himself and he says, "You wanted to go along for the ride too, huh?" He feels heartbroken, but there's also this strange sense of relief. He's just like, it's finally over. Like the hell that I have been living through since the day he was born is over. And maybe now he doesn't know what waits ahead of him, but maybe now he can rest.
Excellent.
I suspect that thought ends pretty quickly, though, if he gets yoinked away.
Yeah, you're falling and your tether gets grabbed, and you get pulled far off across the void. It feels like you're getting drugged for what seems like hours. And the air just chilling as you get pulled across the void. And then you can see, you feel the tug slow. And off in the distance, floating the void, you see a little chunk of land. And on that chunk of floating land, you see just a quaint little cabin. And sitting on the porch of the cabin, rocking in a chair peacefully, holding the other end of your thread, is your mother. My dear boy Jack, what a predicament you find yourself in. She tugs gently as your feet kind of settle on that land, but the harness tightens. You find it hard to move. Your arms are restrained. I told you that I could have told you things you needed to know. I could have saved you. We could have saved each other, you fool.
Well, you've got me here now, I guess. Wish granted.
I knew Victoria's been hunting you. She's been hunting you your entire life. She was manipulating Rupert. It was her job to kill you all along. She just didn't have the guts for it soon enough. And then when she finally got them, I protected you. I've been hiding you from her. Damn naive boy.
What? Why would you?
Why would I protect you?
Yes.
Because you were destined for greater things. That deck was supposed to be ours. From my spawn comes power. You were supposed to answer the call, and we would have been unstoppable. But instead you ran like a fool. And then you sent me to this damned void where I've been existing in an in-between. You made a dark deal with a hag at an altar. A blood promise. Do you recall? I'm cashing in on that promise. You now belong here, serving me for eternity in this bland void of nothing. I hope you're happy with your actions.
No. I think if you've been watching, then you know enough to know I haven't really been happy with anything. But what difference does it make? Pulled along in life, pulled along in the afterlife. Go figure.
Well, why don't you go brew me some tea? She unravels the rope and it just drops to the ground. Might as well try to find familiar comforts in this place the best we can.
Why are you here? Why a limbo? I didn't do this to you. You died in that ritual. What were those moon hags trying to do?
They were trying to bind you to themselves. You're a great asset, Jack, but you're my asset. But you put a short ending to things, and this is the best I could do. I tried to get back, stay away from the boneyard, but this is the best my rituals could do, is land me a home on the edge of it.
Why not just let me go, then? Just let me die.
No.
I'm not useful to you anymore. We're both stuck here now.
I don't like making my own tea. Now go, and she raises a hand and you feel compelled to walk towards the cabin.
Jack will walk towards the cabin. What's inside?
Inside is a very familiar cabin. It looks a lot like your quaint home growing up. There's herbs and very little.
Do I still have the sword in me?
You do.
Can I pull it out?
Yeah. It slides out. You still have a gaping wound, but you don't really feel it.
Jack thinks to himself, remembering that poison that Norgerber gave to him, put on his blade, and how he never found a use for it, or I guess never saw Norgerber activate it. He kind of looks back out toward the cabin door. Mom, I don't know where anything is in this place. Where do you keep stuff?
You can't do anything yourself. I have to show you around. There's not much in there. She'll stand up and she'll very frailly come walking in with a cane.
As she turns the corner and comes through the doorway, Jack turns around and stabs her through with Greythorn.
You stab her through, and the blade sticks into her, and she looks surprised for a moment. And then she lets out a cackle. You foolish boy. We're immortal here. Did you not notice by the sword being stabbed through? What's happening? And as that happens, you see just black corruption start to pour through all of her veins as she drops to her knees looking pained. This is impossible. How'd you do? Is this all part of your plan? Clever, foolish boy. Undo it. There's still more you don't know.
Jack starts laughing. I have no plan. I've never had a plan. This is just the next thing that I thought to try. And by the gods, somehow it's working. So I suggest if you have crucial information, you better spill it now. Because these might be your last words to your dear son.
She looks just stunned and confused, and she drops to her side. I have nothing more. You win, son.
Jack will kneel down beside her and kind of get close. I guess I inherited more from you than you would have liked. Should have known better than to trust your own kin. Now leave me alone.
And with that, she collapses. And you see that she kind of melts into a mist, and that mist goes flying off the cabin back towards that spire way off in the distance. And Greythorn is just left sitting there.
Jack takes the sword and just lies down on the floor of the cabin, just sprawls out in silence for a while, enjoying the peace.
As you lay down and take a breath to enjoy the peace for a moment, the next time you blink, you feel the temperature shift to a sharp cold. When you look around, the cabin is gone, and there is nothing around. No sound, no light, but the gleam of a white porcelain mask slowly approaching you. Floating disembodied, and you hear a voice speak, half whispers that echo from all directions around you.
You've danced so long in the dark, little changeling. Tell me, did you ever think you'd meet the one that taught shadows to lie?
I suppose I have you to thank. I never thought... No, to answer your question, but if you've been following along, then I've done a lot of things I never thought I would do or see. Jack will actually kneel.
Okay, you get up and kneel. You don't see a body still, you just see that mask kind of floating in circles around you, and you hear the faint echo of footsteps circling around you as this mask watches you.
Yes, I foresaw your mother's secrets. I know all secrets in every life, in every line, from every thread. Now listen, I don't meddle in the heavens' petty games, but there is a powerful deck in play now, the one you've been meddling with. It touches even my secrets. Desna's pawn will need your eyes in the dark, your knife at his back, not in betrayal, but in protection. I won't tell you why, I never do. But if you walk away from this, you'll never know the truth that I almost let you see. Will you step back into the shadows for a lie that might save that world you walked upon? I'll make it worth your efforts in both lives.
You want me to go back? You can do that? I mean...
Yes, me and Pharasma have an agreement.
And the call, it's gone?
I think you just put a stop to that for good.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do whatever you want.
Good.
He holds out, you see a gloved hand just very faintly in the darkness hold out, and that tether goes launching to his hand, and he throws it at you, and that tether wraps back around your chest, and before you can have any more conversation, he just flails you across the void, and you feel yourself flying upwards. What do you say as that's happening, Jack?
Jack is crying again, but laughing and crying. He's overjoyed. He is about to experience life for the very first time without the call, which is all he's ever dreamed of ever since the day he was born. And he thought after killing his mom, he thought, settling into the cabin for at least an existence in quiet limbo. And so this is just, more than he could have ever hoped for.
Excellent. All right, we're going to go to not Gingham, but Ginny. Ginny, you awaken feeling like yourself. Not like Gingham, though you have all of Gingham's memories that you've experienced. You remember your very violent end. You remember your time before. You awaken not falling towards a spire, but in a strange place between seconds. You see clocks all around, and you see where Gingham just perished. In fact, you see the bodies of all of your fallen comrades, and you see Gingham slumped over just like an unintelligent toy. But everything is black and white and everything is frozen. You see Victoria brought back, her face scarred and burned. And you see that wicked angel, which now looks holy again. And aside from that, the only thing that seems to not be frozen in time besides yourself is before you, you see a tall figure cloaked in shifting shadows that weave. Glowing silver threads of hair fall out of a cloaked face. And you hear a feminine voice speak out to you.
It is not your time to rise, nor is it your fate to return.
What does that mean?
Between. You are between. Amongst the threads you have unknowingly crossed and altered.
She turns her hood towards the angel.
That demon wears the flesh of an angel. You must retie its thread. Bind it elsewhere. The cards must not be lost. You know how to do this. You've always known how to do this.
She gestures a hand, and you do see a loose thread following Victoria and that angel. And it's like they're now moving in slow motion. You can see them moving towards the corpse of Krunk and Gingham, rifling through their things.
Ginny's gonna go over and snap him up. No. Those don't belong in there.
You grab those threads, and when you pull them taut, they freeze in time again.
Your friends, Krunk and Jack, they will return. You will not. Someone must stay and guard the weave. This demon, they have people manipulating it. It cannot be done. I cannot intervene more than I have. Someone must choose to become part of the pattern.
So, if I take these, it'll give Jack and Krunk a chance to make it whole, make it right, or continue anyway.
Yes, I will give you access to the weave. That will be in your hands from there. It will be perilous, it will be dangerous to your soul. And I cannot command this of you. Fate demands a willing thread. But know this, if you take upon this sacred task, your sacrifice will echo through the destinies yet unwritten, a quiet defiance that can reshape the stars.
Ginny nods and looks at the threads that she'd pulled taut and then back between Jack and Krunk's bodies and thinks back to her time as a puppet. Thinks it's kind of funny that that's where she ended up after every other adventure and now a weird mishap. And she quirks a smile. Well, always been good at making things. Maybe I can make a pretty pattern, or nudge him here and there.
The clocks ding like a loud clock that dings on the hour, and everything, all the scenery around you collapses to just time and space. There's stars everywhere. You're still holding the thread of Victoria and this evil angel. And around you now you see a very complex web of these orange threads. You see a butterfly flying up and retethering one to a web, as well as a thread that is being retied by some unseen hand. And you have a strange understanding of all these tethers. You can see people that they're tied to. You know a lot about them suddenly when you look at the strands, faces, backstories, relations, their purpose in life. It's a little bit overbearing at first. But along with that web, you see a horde of strange-looking spider creatures crawling all over the threads, doing things to them that you know are just vile and wrong. And this hooded figure stands next to you and looks down at you. You still can't see much of their face. You can see a feminine mouth and silver hair, but hard to make out the features.
So, Ginny, will you hold the weave and become the still point in this vile storm?
Ginny takes a second and kind of marvels in all of this new knowledge she suddenly has, because that was her purpose. Like, she loved doing that. So she marvels in it. And then she looks over at the figure. I think this thread makes the most sense for me.
I believe so as well. And I'm a bit of an expert. Why don't you start by taking these two cheaters and restranding them to the weave?
Gladly. And she does.
Okay, you grab it and you go flying off towards that creature-infested weave.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. With that, we go back to Krunk and Jack. You guys gasp awake. And your wounds are magically healed. Victoria and the wicked angel are gone. And all of your cards, all of your belongings are still intact. The only other notable thing is that there is a massive pile of cards. Cards that you knew Victoria was holding on to. What are you guys doing?
Jack gasps awake. Do I remember what happened?
You do
being
remember
dead?
everything. And you actually feel an incredible new sense of power flowing through you. Same with you, Krunk.
I feel new power?
You do.
Huh? What?
I think that Krunk is going to stand up. And he's going to just scramble upright. And he's reaching for his weapon, and it takes him a second for him to catch up and realize they are in danger. And he remembers Desna's word that one was going to meet him here. And his eyes first go to Gingham's body. Is Gingham still small and lifeless?
Gingham is still crumpled over.
His
just like a little
head
doll.
will snap up looking for Jack.
Jack is still on the floor. He's sort of continuing, softly chuckling, but crying and laughing at the same time, just looking straight up as he's lying on his back. And then he slowly gets up, and he's like, Krunk, Gingham, I just had... Is Gingham...
Krunk is so carefully cradling Gingham's body in his big hands. And he just looks up at Krunk, and there's tears streaming down his cheeks. She said only one would return.
Jack takes in Gingham's body. The now empty skull eye sockets. There's not even eyes to close. It's just an empty skull. But Jack places his hand over Gingham's eyes as if to close them. And he says, You just know Gingham is doing something weird and way surprisingly powerful up there. You know what I mean? Gingham's not just... Gingham didn't just go into nothing. I don't know what they're doing, but my sister was meant for more than that. I know that.
Krunk cracks a tearful smile. Who's the dreamer now, Jack? He says very proudly.
You feel Birch crawl on your shoulder. Hey, kid. I apparently don't count as one.
Oh my gosh. Why is it always the pets that are the most emotional? Oh my gosh. Jack turns around shocked and just gives Birch a huge hug, and he starts telling, he's like, Birch, I was falling and then I was pulled and I still had the sword in me, and then I saw my mom, and then he starts telling Krunk too, like he's
The
just
sword
excited.
in
Like,
you?
yeah, Greythorn came
Hey,
with
kid.
me.
And Birch pulls on your collar. I hate to break up your story, but I think we're about to have a big problem. And you can see, he points off in the distance, and you can see that huge dome that was holding off the hordes of demons is now fading away. And you guys can see a humongous horde of demons rushing towards you in the distance.
Right. We need an exit strategy.
No exit strategy.
You hear the voice you heard in the void in your ears.
Time to test out some new tricks I gave you. This will be nothing.
And Krunk, you hear a similar voice. You're going to face greater dangers than this. We'll keep you safe.
Jack.
Yeah, exit strategy, kid. Yeah, what's the plan?
Actually, Birch, I think we're fighting.
What the hell are you talking about, kid?
Right.
That's like 10,000 demons or something. I can't count. It's probably not that many, but it's too many.
Krunk, are you with me on this?
Krunk cracks his neck. Oh, I feel like shaking off death by giving it to others.
Oh, God, your brains didn't come back right. Great. We gotta run.
No, Birch, you don't... There's a lot I need to explain. I didn't finish my story, but I'll finish it later. Just trust me on this. I didn't come back to life just to commit suicide. We're somehow gonna handle this, right? Jack shouts to the ether and then kind of looks, like, off to nowhere.
I say we just charge him.
That's not usually my strategy, but... okay.
Krunk is fastening Gingham to the inside of his shield with a spool of twine.
You're putting Gingham's body on the inside of your shield?
Yeah, we gotta bring it with us so that we can bury
I know
it.
that, but we have bags of holding.
But I presume that Gingham also has bags of holding, and if we put bags of holding in bags of holding, they're gonna explode.
Okay, well, why don't we just take Gingham's body and put it in a bag of holding, and then someone
it felt
just
too finicky.
takes
I was
the
just
bag.
like duct tape.
You're gonna be bashing people with your shield, and Gingham's body's gonna be flopping around.
It's fine. It's a puppet.
What if we lose pieces?
We're
of
not
the
gonna lose
puzzle?
pieces of him. It's gonna be fine. Trust, Jack. Trust.
Have you eaten
Just
a piece
somebody
of
do
Gingham
something, or else we're gonna be adding to those bodies.
All right,
okay.
I'm running. The legs.
Jack is following Krunk, I guess. Oh my gosh.
Is that okay, Katie?
Krunk,
I don't want to
do not
disrespect
lose
your
that
character.
body.
I thought it'd be honorable to use twine.
No, that's so great.
Okay, cool.
Jack is running after Krunk, very unsure what exactly they're supposed to do here.
Alright, you guys go charging towards these hordes of demons. Birch grips onto the back of your collar, Jack. Well, shit, kid. And as you approach the hordes of demons, Krunk, you erupt in just this brilliant light that's steaming off of your armor. And Jack, as you draw a Greythorn, it glows with a bright green glow, looking much more powerful than before. And that is where we will end this season, and we will return to Krunk and Jack mythically ascended, and Katie rolling a new character.
Oh, mythics.
Oh my gosh.